Hi everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new, then I welcome you. I'm so happy to have you and I hope you stick around and you come back again and again and again. If you've been here before, I'm always happy to have you. Welcome back. Yeah, my name is Tamara and I talk about crime stories that took place in the Caribbean because that's where I'm from. Subscribe, like and share my video. Also hit the notification bell so you will not miss when I upload a new one. With that being said, I have this crimey story. Like while I was researching cases, I found this one and I found it so interesting. The way the murder took place is a first of its kind, well, for me. And I said, I have to bring this story to my channel very soon. So here we are, and it's more of a he said, she said, which story do you believe based on the evidence type case. Let's jump right into this crime story. Grab you some wine if you feel like it. You don't have to. It's just my thing. And grab you something to eat, grab you something to drink, get comfortable, some snacks. You know what? I'm gonna start eating some snacks too while I'm telling my story. I don't know how that would go, how that would turn, but I've been thinking about it a lot because I'm like so into storytelling. I'm like, it's interesting to me as well. While I tell you the story, I'm like intrigued by it as well. So I'm like, maybe some snacks would be good while I drink my wine too. So I don't know how that will. I'm gonna try it in the next video. I don't know how it will turn out, but let's see. Anyways, grab you something to eat, grab you some snacks, grab you some wine, some juice, whatever you feel like doing. Get comfortable and let's jump right into this crime story. So, Shonovia Thomas and Archie Tudman, they were involved in a 4-year tumultuous romantic relationship. And on the 1st of October 2008, Shonovia, she attended a social event. After the event, she decided to go to her boyfriend's apartment and she let herself in as she had a key. She got undressed and she laid in bed next to her boyfriend. Now, you're in a relationship, you're home from a social function. I'm assuming she probably was drinking. I don't know, I'm just assuming. She probably was drinking, you're home, you expect to go home and cuddle in bed or whatever people do when they get home after a social function. So that's what she probably had in mind. So she went in bed and she met her boyfriend. However, while she was lying in bed next to her boyfriend, Archie, he was not receptive of her presence next to him lying in the bed. He started stooping like why is she here? Why you in my bed? Like, I don't feel like having you here tonight. Why are you here? And he made sure that she knew that her presence there was not wanted. Realizing that her boyfriend was not receptive of her presence in bed, she felt very uncomfortable and she got the point. I'm sure she probably felt a little bit embarrassed, ashamed, and probably got angry that she came in bed with him and that's his reaction. I guess she did not expect a reaction like that. Like, who would? That's your boyfriend. Who would? She got up and she got dressed, but before leaving, she pulled out a rat tail comb from her bag and she stabbed Archie in the chest with moderate to strong force. Now, Archie, upon receiving the stab in his chest, he got up and he went after Shonovia while she was leaving. Outside his apartment, Archie and Shonovia got into an altercation and Archie collapsed on the floor. He was found by his neighbor and rushed to the hospital where he later died as a result of his injury. Now, Vincent, Archie's neighbor, said that he was in bed with his girlfriend watching TV when he heard what seemed to be noise on the outside. So he muted the TV to really see like listen and hear what was going on. He said that he heard groaning and he heard as a loud noise as though someone had fallen to the ground. He looked out the window and he saw Archie lying out there. He went outside and he found Archie lying on the ground. So like any, I guess, normal neighbor, he went outside to inquire what happened. And while talking to Archie, while he was there lying on the ground, he was holding his chest and he was saying, Shanova, Shanova, she stabbed me. She stabbed me. I'm just there lying in my bed and Shanova stabbed me. He was saying, why she do me this? Why she do me this? I was just in my bed. Why did she do this to me? Why she do me this? He was confused. He did not know why Shanova would stab him and just ran out. He was confused. And I guess the neighbor was confused as well. Because at that point, that's all the information that was given about the incident. The neighbor's girlfriend, remember, she was with him watching TV as well. So she also went out with her boyfriend to see what had happened and inquire. And she stated that Archie said that Shanova just choked him with something. So up to this point, Archie was unaware of the weapon or the tool that was used to stab him. He just knew that he got stabbed, but he was not aware of what she used to stab him with. And he said that I was just there lying in my bed and she just stabbed me. Like, why she do this to me? She just stabbed me. He was confused and I don't know. I could just imagine him lying there and just confused as to what happened. Now, based on the evidence and based on the testimony that was given by the neighbor and his girlfriend, Shanova was taken into custody and she was charged with the murder of Archie, her boyfriend. The prosecutors, they claim that Shanova intended to kill Archie, or at the very least intended to cause him grave bodily harm, and that Archie was unarmed when he was attacked and she was not provoked. Shanova was not provoked by Archie. But you know, it was seem as though that this case, it was a clear-cut case that she went there, he refused her presence and was not welcoming of her presence in the bed with him. She realized that she was unwanted. She got upset. She felt all these different probably emotions, shame and rejection and anger and all these things hurt. And she retaliated by stabbing him with a rat tail comb. So it would seem as though it was a clear-cut case and she would go to prison for his murder. But the defense had a different story. And this is where Shanova's case took a turn, because now we're going to hear Shanova's side of the story. So now on June 15th, 2010, Shanova was brought before the judge and the jury, and she was brought before them on the charge of murder. Now this is where the story gets really interesting, right? Because she states that she was defending herself against a brutal attack by Archie and that she did not intend to kill him, nor did she intend to cause him any great bodily harm. She stated that after her social event, she went and let herself into Archie's apartment. She got undressed and she lay next to him in bed. While she was laying in bed next to Archie, she heard that he was mumbling and murmuring under his breath, and she felt very uncomfortable because she realized that she was not wanted. She decided to get up and get dressed so that she could leave. She states that while she was leaving and she was heading out the door, Archie came and attacked her. And she said that he followed her outside the apartment, and while they were outside, he pushed her against vehicles that were parked in the parking lot, pushed her head to the ground, had her on the ground, pushed her face and her head towards the ground and was over her. She could not get away from him. She said that she was trying to push him off, trying to get away. She was fearing for her life because, mind you, she also stated in court that it was customary for Archie to abuse her. he was a violent man towards her before. Now, she claimed that the only way that she could get away and defend herself, she grabbed a rat tail comb from her bag and swing at her boyfriend. She said that she did not know which part of the body she stabbed, but she only knew that she stabbed him only for him to get off of her and that she could get away. Now, the defense also argued that there was physical evidence to support Shonova's claim of the events that took place outside of the apartment. And they also claimed that debris outside of the apartment and broken concrete and her drop keys and her broken earrings were also evidence that indicated that an altercation took place outside of the apartment. Shonova also bore signs of injuries that were consistent with her story, and police also documented injuries on her body. The defense also brought forward to testify a pathologist, and that person also claimed and backed up Shonova's story and said that it is possible based on the evidence that Shonova gave, and that, you know, Shonova's story is plausible. Now, like I said, it's a case of he said, she said. But while the trial is going on, remember, we're only hearing Shonova's side of the story, because Archie, he died as a result of his injuries. And I assume that this must have been probably a very difficult trial for jurors that were there to figure out what exactly happened, because two persons know exactly what happened, but one died. So it's only Shonova that's there giving her side of the story, and Archie was not there to defend himself or speak up or tell his side of the story. And so after a 2-week trial, Shonova was acquitted of murder, but she was convicted of manslaughter by reason of provocation, and she was given 10 years in prison. But as usual, you know, I have my own opinions as to what I think took place based on the facts that were presented in the case. I'm asking myself, if the boyfriend was in bed, Shonova came in and he did not want her to be there. He showed her that he did not want her to be there. He was murmuring under his breath. He made her feel uncomfortable. He wanted her to leave. And she got the point. She got up, she got dressed, and she was heading out the door. Now, if he did not want her there, then why was he following her outside the door? And what reason did he have to attack her outside there if all he wanted was for her to leave? If all he did was to show that her presence was not wanted there, then what reason does he have to follow her outside the door? I mean, he probably would have been, or should have been, relieved or glad that he saw her getting up and getting dressed and heading out the door. That should have been the end of the story. I mean, that's the one that makes most sense to me. It's more likely that Shonova attacked him because she felt a range of emotions. Probably felt uncomfortable, angry, rejected, embarrassed, ashamed that you went in the bed with your boyfriend after a social event and he responded like that towards you. Any woman will feel embarrassed. She probably attacked him because she felt that way, or because he made her feel that way. And after being stabbed, she tried to run out the door. She probably stabbed him and tried to run out the door, and he got up and ran after her, and the altercation took place outside there. I mean, I'm just thinking, what other reason was there for him to be outside? What other reason was there for him to follow her outside of the apartment if initially he wanted her to leave? Unless he had a change of mind. Unless he had a change of mind and she was going to leave, and he probably felt bad after displaying that response to her, and he ran out behind her to say, you know what, babe, I'm sorry, let's go back inside, forget I reacted like that. And she now like, oh no, you don't reject me, so I don't want to deal with you anymore. And so an altercation took place out there, which resulted in Shonovia grabbing her rattle comb and trying to defend herself. That makes sense to me. That makes sense. But that's not what she said in her testimony in court. But I could see him heading outside if he had a change of mind. But if you did not have a change of mind, then why are you running behind her? Just doesn't make sense. It doesn't seem logical to me. I would love to hear what you think about this case, because I mean, like I said, it's a very interesting case. It's a case of he said, she said, where she said, and he's dead. So he's not here to defend himself and to give his side of the story. So I would love to know what you think. Do you think that Shonovia stabbed him inside the apartment after feeling the rejection from her boyfriend? Or do you think do you think that he had a change of heart and ran outside to get Shonovia back inside, and an altercation took place outside, and that's where the stabbing took place? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I would love to discuss it down there with you. In the meantime, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and see you in the next one. Thank you for watching, and bye.